What's going on, gamers? Hopefully everyone's day is going well. We keep on getting more insane news from the Xbox world. There's so much coming out that you can cover it non-stop and not focus on anything else. It's like, whoa, I want to actually think about covering the Bungie layoffs, but we already know that's obvious. And those morons didn't make Destiny 3, which they should have. I was thinking about covering that. But we got something here interesting coming up that potentially could be very real. Because I was reading a post the other day, and if you go in and you type on like Xbox Pay, the post that I'm talking about is renting. And it's right here straight up. An install payment feature was found in the Xbox website code. This is going to get interesting. The new system is being created with finance firms PayPal and Klarna. Users can split the cost of products over several months. A 0% installment plan for 4 payments or a 24-month loan is available. Oh boy, they're getting desperate now. And we're going to get back to the other post that's going to clarify what I was saying about this. Microsoft Corporation has still not made any official statements. This step is aimed at supporting demand due to a general rise in gaming prices because hardware is getting too expensive. They can't subsidize. They're saying the component cost is 5 times more than it is now. So now I want you to rent things. And that's going to give people the idea is you will rent everything and you will own nothing. And I will own everything, and you're going to pay me fees. No, I don't want to rent no damn hardware. Do you know what type of trouble you would get in if it had problems? You don't know if they'll sell you refurbished, messed up ones on purpose. This is a gamble that just should not be coming in the gaming industry. But we've talked about this before. Plenty of other pages have talked about it before. Become a member, leave a tip down below, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that hype button. Let me know what you guys think. This right here is a perfect example of what I wanted to get to before I can get to the main video right over here that I just highlighted. Man, guys, I'm telling you right now, see, this company is always manipulating and monopolizing and also feeding things that is exactly destroying the things that you care about right now. Remember when they tried to do DRM lockdown way ahead of time? Remember when they introduced a paywall into online gaming? That was this company that did this. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the company that some of these cucks I just don't understand are supporting. Ex-cucks, I'm going to call them. So right here, Wall Street Apes has a post saying specifically here. Let me go ahead and zoom in on you guys. I'll zoom in for you guys a little bit here. Xbox CEO Asha Sharma hits they are planning on moving away from having customers buying consoles or because it's too expensive. So they're going to introduce other options, right? And instead going to a monthly rental or subscription program. Now, I want you to think about how fake this company is too, because when you start doing that, they'll probably start counting this as, this is how many players are playing Xbox hardware right now. Instead of telling you sales, they're going to try to count that as something else. You can't trust this company. And I think this program is going to fail. Nobody wants to rent anything. I mean, it has to be decent. I remember they tried something with that in Japan, and it kind of makes sense for a certain extent, but things were even a lot cheaper at that moment. When you think about the prices over here, it's like, what are we doing here? I don't know. So yeah, think about this. Instead, going to a monthly rental or subscription program. She says it's hard to imagine people continuing to spend thousands of dollars on future console generations. This is a code for you will own nothing and we will charge you monthly for a product forever. They already got you do that with Blu-rays and DVDs, but people it can like, this is what I want to say. People can kind of accept that better than video games. Video games are a different thing when it comes to owning and being able to play in the future generations. And there's some people, even like my sister and tons of other people, that still have VHS setups with DVD setups and still has a ton of stuff to watch. And you can watch it without internet. You know what I mean? With this, when you're renting something, and the way Microsoft has the system set up with Game Pass, you have to be online and you have to rent. So imagine the restrictions they probably might add with that too. You never know with this company, I'm telling you. So let's take a look at this clip here and let's see what she's going to say.
I think we've reached a point where it will be hard to imagine that mass audiences can afford thousands of dollars to spend on a console generation. I think we will start to see radically different business models that we never expected start to.
Thousands of dollars. They're trying to tell you right now, the Xbox Helix, future console generations. This is why they have to restructure this. Business models that you never expected. So you've never seen this business model before. It's going to be a renting business model. No, bro. Like it's right here in front of your face.
Come into orbit later this year. We will continue to look at new business models, I think is what is needed for console.
So new business models for consoles that never exist. When you say new, that means it's something that you've never seen before. It's something that you do not want or never expected. I think we can pretty much add this up and confirm that it is something in that aspect. Microsoft already has a certain type of program with that, but it's leading to owning something. This is definitely going to be renting. And the whole point of pricing you out is to give you the idea that, oh, but you can rent it for this price, but you're never owning it and you're just giving them rented money back and forth. No, man. This is snake oil salesman nonsense. This is the type of stuff that needs to be shot down. I do not want this coming into the gaming industry. But sadly, when you have a company like this around, this is why you should probably want them to sell Xbox. You're going to see garbage stuff like this. Just like they tried to kill physical games way back then in 2013. And they introduced online paywalls. This is the company that did that. I always remember this.
Rather than just the most premium high-performance console in the world.
There's a lot of speculation that you're no longer going to be able to own an Xbox, and Microsoft is going to move towards a monthly subscription model to get the console and the games. And there is some evidence for this because Microsoft has already introduced monthly financing plans for new console days. They did this in 2020. This is when everyone started talking about no longer owning anything.
And it wasn't only that, it's like he's saying, oh, but you got Game Pass renting. You don't own anything, and you have to be online, and then you got hardware renting, and then cloud renting. Think about where they're trying to move you at. Then you're just like not paying to own anything, but they're getting those idle fees consistently.
And if you look at this, it's actually a pretty decent deal, but you don't own the hardware anymore. You just pay monthly, and you get the console bundled with Game Pass. So this is moving away from owning a console and instead just renting it.
$25 a month for the Series S console, Game Pass at 20 something. So basically, within 6 months, right? Think about this. You paid half of the price of the original launch for Series S. There was times where it was on sale for $250 and you could just completely own it. Now they want to charge you $25 a month for that. And if you got Game Pass, you're paying almost about $25 a month. So I want you to pay them $50 a month to play Xbox. I want you to think about that. And I'm pretty sure the X is going to be more expensive. But see, guys, it's right there in front of you already.
You will own nothing.
That's the whole point of this. And when you think about it, some people will still just want to have the console. They're just like, oh, I'm only paying $25 a month. And then they're idly not doing nothing. They're too busy with life. Microsoft's racking in the $25 around the world just for the S's. The X's, they're probably going to charge $35 or $40 or whatever else they want to charge, right? And then there's racking in, and Game Pass kind of sitting there idly just racking because people forget about it. This stuff happens all the time with Netflix and everything. The idle subscription vampirism. Yeah, it's a serious thing. It's been going on for quite some time. And then next thing you know, you have all these subscription fees monthly now instead of buying to own. Drew P. Sachs says, you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. A phrase published by the World Economic Forum based on a 2016 essay about a hypothetical sharing economy. Remember what Ubisoft was saying? They were along with this too. And they are doing everything possible to make it happen. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. This is how our world could change by 2030. We're already in 2026, and half of this year is already speeding into 2027. Next-gen consoles are going to be delayed out of 2027 because of the way this economy is now. We can pretty much say that 2028 is looking more viable. Look at the hardware component costs. How are you going to gather all that up right now and then pay the mass manufacturer? You're going to have to charge more for that because the component costs at the moment to mass manufacture and get ready is going to be expensive. So it's best to delay. Guys, it's pretty obvious. Like, we can figure this out, right? Just by realizing what was just told to us even in that right there and what we're kind of seeing here. This is why I say that when you really think about what's going on in the Microsoft Corporation, when you really think about every move they really have been making, what have they really done to help gaming? Everything has been to destroy it lately. Everything has been to destroy Xbox completely. It got sacrificed on the altar a long time ago. AI feed has been supported by Microsoft more than ever. Remember when they put like 90 billion into Copilot? They'll talk about component costs like the NVIDIA's talking about. We don't got enough chips. Yeah, they do. They put it all into AI. And then they lowered down the stock of the RTX graphics cards. And then delayed them out. Same thing's going to happen to the other hardwares that are nowhere near in that position. Xbox hardware is going to get delayed. You thought Helix was coming out next year? Sorry, no, it's coming out in 2028. If it even is, if they don't sell the company and get rid of it, right? And PlayStation 6 is coming out in 2028. Nintendo Switch Lite may be getting delayed a year or two because of how ridiculous things are. So, like, this is what I mean by, like, if you look at all the negative things that have been coming out after that showcase, This was done on purpose to get you hyped, to hit you with the parasocial brainwashing. I tried to tell people about it, and then here comes the real Microsoft again. Just like the same thing when people were grifting against Switch 2 last year. Why were you grifting against the Switch 2? What do you have to say about Nintendo now? What did I tell you? Nobody is even close to Microsoft. And I remember all those people grifting against Nintendo last year. Talking about they're the most anti-consumer. Man, your IQ must be low as hell. Boy, I can't. It ain't even close. And look how much money this company has. I tried to tell you. Nobody didn't want to listen to AGN in certain perspectives, in certain communities. Not the Nintendo world, they were fine. And most of the PlayStation world, some of them, who just, because you just want to be that PlayStation fanboy, PlayStation pony, I understand. You got to criticize Nintendo too or whatever. But everybody knows now, and it's not even close, that Nintendo is the most pro-consumer. I've been trying to tell people this. They only jacked the price up by $50. Nintendo Switch Online is still $19.99 after 9 years. Nintendo's charging $10 less for digital games. They're now selling their digital games for $49.99. Some of them. They still give you physical games, carts on handheld and docked. The only one still preserving physical. All these other handhelds coming out, even the PlayStation one, there's not going to have any physical copies. So what do you mean Nintendo is anti-consumer? Because they charge $80 for one game? Then they bundled it and said you could get it for $50 like that. If it was really that bad, you would have only been able to get it that way. And that's a game that's going to last a whole entire generation. Don't get me started with this crap, because people could pay way more MTX on one game weekly. It's like, it just really depends on how you look at it. I still don't agree with it, that 80, of course. But the point here is that it's significantly worse on steroids in the Xbox world. And it's worse in the PlayStation world, but nowhere near even close to Xbox. Nobody compares to Microsoft's anti-consumer behavior lately, except NVIDIA. And I don't like the monopoly going on over in South Korea, too, with memory prices and all that. So, yeah, you'll own nothing and be happy. We will own everything and you will be our slave. Damn, that's pretty crazy. Let me know what you guys think about that. I won't do it. If I can't own the things I buy, the answer is no. Yeah, I mean, video games, sub-services, it's like, okay, because I get my experience. But telling me that I'm going to stack up this whole entire library, build this account that people get attached to, and then you're going to tell me that I'm going to rent the hardware? No, I'm sorry, bro, no. Obviously, this is a dream. We don't own nothing forever, but that's not the point here. That means that it's fully, once I give you that fee, okay, I have it as long as I can have it in this dream, which has a time limit anyways. Because eventually you get rid of it and you trade it in anyway. So you paid to have it for that long. No, now they're trying to get for you to pay them monthly. I could see somebody trying to counter argue that, but it's like, no. But at the end of the day, this is totally different. And there's no way to justify this on any angle. I do not want consoles being rented. It's stupid. You can't trust it because you don't know what type of console you got to somebody rent it to that could have did something to it. There's all types of ways to manipulate that program. I don't like it. But of course, who's pushing this? Microsoft? I'm not surprised. I like this guy's post. I get what he's saying. Germanic friend says, or you could grow up and buy a PC. You try to act like the PC world is any better. You don't think you're going to be renting PCs? Did you see the prices of that market? This is a stupid mentality. There you go again. That's once again stupid mentality. A PC company first and foremost is doing this, dumbass. It's a Windows company. They're moving to PC. What you think the Helix is going to be? What market do you think is the most insane and most anti-consumer? A PC company, Microsoft, and a PC company, NVIDIA. Both manipulating the AI world. PC components costs. This is stupid because this is not fixing the problem by making you think, oh, go pay for an overpriced PC now and miss out on all that software. You don't see that happening for PlayStation in that sort of sense, or Nintendo, because their sales suck. No, Microsoft is just terrible. Not renting any console and not interested in paying for a virtual console. You have to own a PC or device to run it on, if that's what she's referring to. She's is so out of her effing wheelhouse, it's unreal. Hardware in some cases is the gold standard, and there's nothing like an unveiling of a new system to hype people up. Microsoft, fire this idiot already, please. It doesn't really matter, bro. How many times does cloud gaming have to fail before they stop trying to force it onto consumers? That's what I was trying to tell you. That leads to cloud computing, which is the biggest on PC. Don't tell me nothing about PC. You've been killed physical a long time ago. Nintendo's been keeping alive physical with PlayStation. I mean, this is where the smartphone industry is at. You rarely buy a $1,000 phone cash. You pay monthly for it. If Xbox can find a way to do a pay this much a month for 24 months, but that's the thing. Hardware is most likely stationary, bro. And you're buying a bunch of games for it. Mobile is different. That's not the case. You actually, like, you can't compare the cell phone industry to the gaming industry. They're totally different. It's totally different, man. It could be something to help the rise in prices. It should also include Game Pass. You're an idiot. LOL, console plebs, PC master race forever. Here we go again. These people here, I said something is wrong with their brain. All this stuff goes back to the PC world and to PC companies. I will never pay for it. Look forward to watching Microsoft fail again. I'm curious of some of these comments. Let's see what it says. You simp for Windows. Wow, that's pathetic. My point exactly. That's and support Nvidia, the most anti-consumer. The two most anti-consumer companies. You don't own your games on Steam. She works for Microsoft. See, look, this guy's so dumb he doesn't realize that Microsoft is a PC company. And it's the one that's monopolizing and manipulating all of this. I own a PC and primary play on it and PS5. I'll never understand this weird stance of PC superiority. I play games wherever they are. PC ecosystem, consoles, from all manufacturers for the love of games. My point exactly. It's wherever you have the best games at that I can't get anywhere else. All this other stuff is an idiot going and overpaying and supporting the most anti-consumer companies on the planet, and it's missing out on all those games. When your dumbass could have went and took a portion of that, still had a good PC, owned the PlayStation 5 Pro and the Switch 2, and have all. Like I'm doing. This is how dumb a PC gamer is. They'll sit over there and cry that they can't get the game, but they'll go and spend $2,000 something and $3,000 something to keep upgrading on cards yearly, where the console's way cheaper than that. With a couple years of online on both and getting exclusives. I'm telling you, man, the low IQ mentality of some of these PC gamers baffles me, because they're not that smart as they think they are either. Hypocrites and clearly blind and have a polarized point of view. And as a matter of fact, I think when you come to that PC master race, you say that, I sometimes detect insecurity issues. You might want to look at the whole resume of the gaming industry from the beginning to the end and realize who did and gave the most to the gaming industry. Anything that you support in that world, like Steam, they have not even came close to developing and producing and selling nowhere near as much as Nintendo did. Not even close. Same thing with Sony. As much hardware as they sold. Not even close. As a PC, you're not buying a PC to say that's a console sale. Many people have PCs for many different things. So it's a personal computer, not a video game console. Totally different. You have no mastery because you don't dominate publishing and development. You don't give anything. All you want to do is take somebody else's stuff, and then you suck at video games, a lot of you, because you have a more overpowered rig, you have higher frames per second, low MS, mouse and keyboard, and you still choose to cheat because you are a loser and you're not that intelligent as you say you are. You support the most anti-consumer company on the planet, both of them, and then you try to act like that means you're superior. No, you're not that smart as you think you are. Once again, stop with the garbage. Let me know what you guys think. Become a member, leave a tip down below. And this is not attacking PC gaming. This is attacking morons in the PC gaming community. I have to say that because there's stupidity in all platforms. But the Nintendo community seems to be the most intelligent. Later, y'all.